that proposal that I have, and wholesomely, the practical proposal we have can reduce fuel prices by 27 shillings today without hurting anyone. One is that we need to reduce our VAT by an extra 5% now. And that extra VAT of 5% will mean that our fuel prices will go down by, on that segment alone, by around 8 shillings. The second proposal is that we need to de-gazette the 7 shillings that was added on fuel levy in the year 2024. It was done through a gazette notice by the Minister for Transport. The same way, he needs to give a gazette notice today before the close of today. That will also bring down the fuel prices by an extra 7 shillings. The other thing that we must do is that the fuel stabilization fund has close to 20 billion Kenya shillings as we talk. And this is not money that has been budgeted for. This is money that Kenyans pay in the pump. As you go to fuel your car, it is the Kenyans who have been funding the fuel stabilization fund. And my proposal is that we need to provide an extra 5 billion shillings from the fuel stabilization fund. And with a consumption of around 400 million liters of diesel and petrol per month, it means that will amount to around 12 shillings per liter. Adding those three elements, specifically reducing VAT by an extra 5%, that gives an extra reprieve of around 8 shillings, reducing fuel levy by around 7 shillings, and also offering an additional subsidy of 5 billion shillings from fuel stabilization fund. That also means around 12 shillings per liter. Wholesomely, we can be able to reduce the prices of fuel today by 27 shillings. And what that is likely to do is that we are going to arrest the very many spiraling effects that will happen starting today out of the reckless decision that was made by government yesterday. And Kenyans need to realize this. The proposals I have given, I'm not even requesting the government to do anything. Kenyans are just saying, take back the levies and taxes where you got them. That's what the people of Kenya are saying. The additional 8% VAT was added by this regime in 2023. The additional 7 shillings in fuel levy was added by this regime in the year 2024. The money that is coming from fuel stabilization fund, it is not money that they have generated. It is money that has been contributed by the Kenyan people in the last several months. So what you are asking is simple. Just take the levies and taxes where you got them. And if that happens, Kenyans are not going to pay more in the pump as it happened yesterday. So Kenyans are not requesting the government to do anything. They are just demanding that the government takes the taxation and levies to the level they got them. If they only do that, there is reprieve in the pump as the starting point. Then after doing that, in the medium term, we should now be looking at how to tax exempt the fuel products. We at least take our VAT to zero in the intermediate period. Because the issue we are dealing with is not long term. How we saw even during the Russia and Ukraine issue is that this issue doesn't take too long. There is already solutions being floated globally. And therefore, we may push this cost to the Kenyan people, then we end up hurting our economy for the rest of the year. I don't think we need to do that. Kenya has resources to be able to arrest this matter when we can arrest it. I request those who are concerned. This is not the time to chest dump and show Kenyans who knows what more than who. It is the time to present credible solutions to the issue that is the Kenyans are grappling with today. The other issue that Kenyans must be aware of, just look at your data and you'll see that global oil prices were at a higher price in the year 2022 than they are now. Actually, in May of 2022, a barrel of oil topped around $115 per barrel. It is definitely higher than the $98 per barrel it is trading today. But fuel prices never exceeded 160 shillings for petrol and around 140 shillings for diesel. So this is simple arithmetic. The global oil prices were higher in 2022 at around $115 per barrel. But the highest Kenyans were paying was around 160 shillings for petrol and 140 shillings for diesel. What an oxymoron then there is, that the global oil prices are now around $98 per barrel, but Kenyans are paying upwards of 200 shillings. That is a paradox by itself. And even when we compare the regional prices, and especially Kenya being a home of a port, and Kenya having mechanisms like fuel stabilization fund, which is funded by Kenyans, it is not explainable logically how any of our neighbors should be selling fuel cheaper than Kenya. That is a paradox by